Welcome back. I'm GyroGearloose with RV Hacking on the Cheap, and today we're going to talk about powering your CPAP when you don't have shore power. I like to go camping without shore power, which means not having AC power to plug into and having to run entirely off of batteries. One of the realities of getting older, unfortunately, is that I have to use the CPAP in order to, remember to breathe when I fall asleep. Apparently, breathing is not optional. So ideally, I'd like to power this off of this. But of course, if you want to do it the simple way, you'll find when you search online, oh, for Pete's sake, $90 for a basic 12 volt to 24 volt adapter. Well, many CPAP machines run natively on 12 volts and could be plugged in directly. Unfortunately, my ResMed Airsense A10 runs on 24 volts. And then it has a few other secrets up its sleeve. Isn't it nice of them to give you free shipping while they're mugging you? I think I could build one for about $5. Let's see. And since it's low voltage and fairly safe to make on your own, I'm going to show you every step. Well, first of all, you're going to need one of these, a 12 volt adapter, in order to get the power out of your own house batteries. I chose one with a switch and an LED so that I can tell when I've turned it on. That way I won't accidentally leave it on and run down my battery if I'm not actually using the snorkel. Next, of course, we need a 12 volt to 24 volt boost converter. This is 150 watt and can be easily had for $3 online. Next, of course, we're going to need a wire for the other end to plug into the machine. Note the specifications. This is a 7.4 by 5 millimeter coaxial plug, frequently used for an HP Dell laptop. Note the blue box where there's a blue wire, a white wire, and a black wire. There are 3 wires inside this because the plug is unusual, which is part of ResMed's secret. They functionally talk to the power adapter when you power it on to make sure you really did pay your $90. I mentioned the funny adapter. Here's what the end of that plug actually looks like. You notice that there's a center pin that's 3.3 volts, as well as the 24 volt supply and a ground around the outside. In order to provide that 3.3 volts, we're going to need this, which is an MX Mini 360. It's about the size of a postage stamp, and it is a buck converter, which means it converts the 12 volt down to 3.3 volts. And of course, you'll need an enclosure to put all of this in when you're done, so we keep it nice and tidy. Between the 2 prior boards, we're going to convert the 12 volts up and down simultaneously to provide everything that the CPAP needs. Here's a little diagram of those 2 boards. I'll leave the diagram up as I show you the wiring. First, of course, we'll connect up the 12 volt cigarette lighter adapter to the input of both converters. Note the plus minus inputs on each board. Next, before you get excited and plug it right into your CPAP, you have to adjust both converters to provide the exact correct voltages. Both of these boards are adjustable for quite a range, and of course we want specifically 24 volts power and 3.3 volts signal. The adjustment for the 24 volt converter is the little twist screw on the blue block, as I highlighted in purple here. The adjustment for the 3.3 volt output buck converter is a little metal disc that you twist with a tiny screwdriver. Connect your multimeter to the outputs as shown and twist each screw until you get exactly the voltage you want. It's not difficult, but it is fairly sensitive. So now you're excited and you think we're all done, so we'll just connect it right up to the wire. What's this blue nope? If you thought you could put the 3.3 volts directly into the 3.3 volt input on the cable, as would be perfectly logical, nope, ResMed thought of that, and they really want their $90. When you first power up the CPAP, it effectively queries the power supply to ask whether it's a genuine ResMed. So they put an extra trick into that wire. And here's my trick for bypassing that. You need a 2.7 kiloohm or 2700 ohm resistor installed into the middle of that 3.3 volt line before it goes to the jack. It can be hard to source a 2.7 kiloohm, so I found it was much easier just to use the commonly available resistors in series. These of course add up, which is close enough. With those resistors wired in place, our wiring is actually complete. But before you pack it into the enclosure, why don't you test it out? And now let's find out if it works. Works perfectly. And yes, it really did cost just about $5, maybe a hair more. This has been GyroGearloose with RV Hacking on the Cheap. I hope you've enjoyed this information. If you found this information useful, then please like, subscribe, press the little bell. That way you can be notified of any future videos. Of course, anyone on YouTube already knew that, but I'm obligated to say it anyway. Thanks for watching, and may the snorkel be with you.